Hello everybody, Ryan here with Product Impressions. I have been using this Roomba combo thing that is supposed to both vacuum and mop for, I don't know, 6 months or so now, and I must say, it's an interesting proof of concept. It doesn't really work that great. I think it suffers both as a vacuum and as a mop because of trying to combine the two. It doesn't automatically switch between vacuuming and mopping. If you put the mop thing on there, you need to actually block off everywhere that's carpet. As a vacuum, it'll pick up a certain amount, but ultimately not amazing. So what can we do that will be better than that? What we're trying today is the Shark PowerDetect NeverTouch 2-in-1. Hopefully this should be a significant step up from this little Roomba combo. So what this is supposed to do is run automatically. You don't have to mess with it. It's supposed to switch automatically between the mopping and the vacuuming depending on the surface that it's actually going over. It's then supposed to empty itself out, refill itself, and you basically aren't supposed to have to mess with this for a couple of months at a time. I'm skeptical of that. I imagine I'll be doing it a couple of weeks at a time, but maybe. We'll see. In any case, let's go ahead and get this thing set up, see what we think, see how it works. Now this little thing is a wonderful automated vacuum and mop combination. After using this for, I think it's been close to a month now, coming in on the 4th week, and it is just so wonderful compared to that Roomba combo. That thing, proof of concept, yes, the same little device can do both vacuuming and mopping. This is an actual usable implementation of that. So some nice aspects of this. All you have to do is about once a month or so, you pop out this and press the orange button to dump out whatever got vacuumed up in the meantime. It is really simple. You don't hardly have to do anything to maintain this. I'm at a weird angle. There we go. Otherwise, there are a couple of air filters that you should be checking. You've got one in here. You just need to rinse this off. And there is another on the side over here. You just pull that down and it pops open and you can access an air filter in there. All of these are ones that you can just rinse off. You don't have to buy new air filters. So once you have this, you're pretty much set. You may have to replace the one inside the vacuum from time to time, but that's pretty much it. And usually that's going to be good for at least 6 months or so. Some other nice aspects of this is that they actually took into account getting into the corners. Roombas have always had a hard time with things if it's actually back in the corner. And this actually has little air jets that can shoot out to push things out from the corners. This usually works. I say usually because it works very well with any corners like this, but it requires that the corner be complete all the way down to the floor on both sides. If you have an appliance, it will not get anything out from there because it will just blow things underneath it. So that is kind of problematic in a corner where I have a refrigerator, another one where I have the dishwasher. So it's never going to get anything out from back there. You do still need to pull those things out and may actually end up seeing more underneath there because it actually pushes stuff under there. Otherwise, it can push out the mopping pad so that it can reach into other little nooks and crannies, which is a wonderful little addition. You saw in the footage earlier of how it will actually lift it up to avoid dragging the wet mopping pad over any of the carpets, any area rugs, anything like that. So that's important when you are actually doing the mapping in the first place. When you first set this up, it will go through a mapping phase where it just kind of runs around and identifies where you have hardwood, where you have carpet. And then you can go into the map in the app, to update these rooms or have it remap certain areas if you think that it didn't do a very good job. I didn't really have to do that. It correctly identified where I have area rugs, what rooms are carpeted, and it just automatically runs. I have it set to mop once a week and vacuum an additional 2 times. So when it is set to mop, it does both vacuum and mop. And so that happens once a week. This little difference here is going to highly depend on your square footage and how much of that is the hardwood. Mine is about half hardwood. I think my place is a little under 800 square feet. So not a whole lot needs to be used at any given time. Like I said, it has run 3 times. Based on that, it'll probably run about 9 times before I even need to think about refilling that. So I am actually getting about 2.5 months or so of this thing running before I will actually need to do anything with the water. I mean, monthly I can dump out what accumulates, sure. So yeah, really easy. I must also say, Roombas have always gotten stuck in different places. I've had a couple of those in the past. That Roomba combo is not the first one that I've had. They get stuck everywhere. Oh my God, always stuck. This has never gotten stuck. It has never failed to finish a job. It runs around, it uses sensors to know if it can actually get underneath something. It's not just going to wedge itself underneath a piece of furniture like the Roomba does at every possible opportunity. The Roomba will also get stuck in places if the flooring is just a little bit off. This one, as you saw with lifting the back pad up, can actually just lift itself out if it seems to get stuck somewhere, and then it just keeps running and it actually finishes the job. I must say, they are referring to this as the NeverTouch, and that is not only having to empty out a container in the vacuum itself, but you never have to touch it because it doesn't get stuck anywhere while it's running. It is really phenomenal. I cannot speak highly enough of that, and given the price point of this, it is really a wonderful thing, especially compared to the Roombas. At this point, I think you're really paying for the name of Roomba, but here, I mean, it's Shark, it is less expensive, it actually works. I cannot say anything but good things about this. You will notice that as it is running around, when it comes off, there, the mopping pad stays behind. So if it is just going to run around the floor and do vacuuming, it's not going to take the mopping pad with it. Whoop. We're going to send this guy back home. So when it runs just to vacuum, it can be a little loud sometimes. It will announce everything that it is doing. You can mute that, but even then I would still recommend running this while you are outside of your home rather than while you're trying to sleep or something like that. But it will run around and do all of the vacuuming and then come back, empty out the vacuum thing, pick up the mopping pad, wet it, and then do all of its running around with the mopping pad. So you never have to touch it. It does one thing at a time, so it's not like having to drop down, lower up, drop down, over and over again while it is running. So very, very nice. Yeah, all in all, absolutely wonderful. It has at most monthly maintenance that you need to do, but otherwise it just runs and it keeps everything clean. It's always back on its docking station when I get home. I never have to worry about where I'm going to find it in the apartment. If it happens to push a door closed, it just runs around. I mean, I have multiple ingress and egresses out of each room, so if one door gets closed, it just finds its way back out through another one. And yeah, in all honesty, I think it has closed a door one time and never happened again. So yeah, it does a good job of actually learning what it can and cannot do, what it should and shouldn't run into. Yeah, wonderful job with cleaning everything. So hopefully this has been of some help to you. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. This thing is sticking around. That Roomba combo is definitely not. So yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer whatever I can. Otherwise, like, share, subscribe. I will see you next time.